The 2026 edition of the Dubai Tennis Championships was supposed to be a celebration, a glamorous desert showcase for the world's best players at one of the most prestigious stops outside the Grand Slams. Instead, the opening week of the WTA 1000 event has been overshadowed by a growing and increasingly familiar issue: elite withdrawals, mid-match retirements, and a draw that looks dramatically different from the one fans were promised. And the problem isn't just lingering, it's getting worse. A tournament hit before it even began, the alarm bells rang loudly when the world's top two players, Aryna Sabalenka and IGA Swiatek, both pulled out of the 2026 Dubai Tennis Championships before hitting a single ball for a WTA 1000 tournament, the second highest tier of events after the Grand Slams. Losing the number one and number two players is a brutal blow. It's not just about star power. It's about competitive integrity, television ratings, ticket sales, and the prestige that makes Dubai such a key fixture on the calendar. Their withdrawals immediately altered the landscape of the draw. What was set up to be a heavyweight clash of the sport's biggest names suddenly became a tournament scrambling to reframe its narrative. And it didn't stop there. The Middle East swing, a growing strain. Dubai sits in the middle of the physically demanding Middle East swing, following Doha, and just weeks after the Australian Open. The scheduling squeeze has become increasingly problematic. Players are arriving fatigued. Some are managing lingering injuries. Others are simply prioritizing long-term health over short-term points. The WTA calendar has grown more intense in recent years. With expanded WTA 1000 events, longer matches, mandatory appearances, and growing travel demands, the physical toll is mounting. When top players skip events, it's often strategic. When multiple top players withdraw from the same event, that's systemic. A domino effect of retirements. Even after the withdrawals, the chaos didn't end. Early rounds in Dubai have already seen a spate of retirements mid-match. Fans who paid premium prices have watched contests end abruptly. Momentum shifts have come not from tactical brilliance, but from physical breakdowns. This is not what a WTA 1000 is supposed to look like. The deeper issue isn't one or two injuries. It's the pattern. Across recent seasons, WTA tournaments, especially those stacked closely together, have been hit by a noticeable rise in physical issues. The combination of longer seasons and the increasing power and intensity of the modern women's game is taking its toll. Players hit harder than ever. Rallies are explosive. Recovery windows are shorter. And the body eventually says no. A calendar that leaves no room to breathe. The WTA's expansion strategy has boosted commercial value and global reach. New markets, bigger prize money, more exposure. But the trade-off is obvious. There's barely an off-season. There are limited rest windows. And a mandatory 1000 structure forces players into difficult choices: compete tired, withdraw injured, or risk long-term damage. Dubai, positioned where it is on the calendar, often becomes a pressure point. Players chasing ranking points feel compelled to show up, but not always fully fit. The result? Half-strength fields, incomplete matches, frustrated fans. The fan experience is suffering. The Dubai Tennis Championships prides itself on luxury, spectacle, and world-class competition. It's a marquee event in the Middle East, drawing global audiences and high-profile attendees. But star withdrawals hurt more here than at smaller tournaments. Fans travel internationally for this event. Tickets are not cheap. Sponsors expect headline matchups. When Sabalenka and Swiatek withdrew, many of the anticipated blockbuster clashes vanished overnight. And while the remaining field still contains elite talent, the narrative shifted from battle of the best to who's left standing. That's not the story a WTA 1000 wants attached to it. Is this a WTA-wide crisis? Dubai isn't an isolated case. Across the past few seasons, high-profile withdrawals at major WTA events have become increasingly common. From Madrid to Rome to Cincinnati, late pullouts are no longer rare headlines. They're expected developments. The modern tour demands peak performance nearly year-round. And while sports science has advanced, recovery has limits. The women's game is currently in a golden era of depth and power. But that very evolution may be contributing to the physical strain: bigger hitters, faster courts, longer rallies, The intensity is relentless. What could be done? The WTA faces difficult questions. Should the calendar be shortened? Should mandatory events be reduced? Should there be greater flexibility for top players? Or is this simply the cost of a global, high-stakes tour? There are no easy answers. Shortening the calendar means financial trade-offs. Fewer events could mean less opportunity for lower-ranked players. Reducing mandatory requirements could affect tournament stability. Yet doing nothing risks a slow erosion of fan trust. Because fans don't buy tickets for what could have been. They buy tickets for the best versus the best. The irony of opportunity there is, however, one silver lining. With top names absent, opportunity opens for others. Dubai may yet produce a breakthrough champion, a rising star who capitalizes on the chaos. These moments sometimes reshape the rankings and create new narratives. But while unpredictability can be exciting, it should come from competition, not attrition. A problem that's escalating. The concerning part is not that withdrawals happen. They always have. The concern is frequency and timing. When multiple top-tier players consistently miss major 1,000-level events, it signals that something in the structure may be unsustainable. Dubai's early week disruption feels less like bad luck and more like a symptom. And if the pattern continues, the WTA will need to confront a reality that's becoming harder to ignore. The calendar may be pushing its biggest stars beyond the breaking point. The bigger picture, the Dubai Tennis Championships remains one of the most glamorous stops on tour. The atmosphere is electric. The setting is iconic. But glamour cannot compensate for instability. That if the world's best players cannot reliably compete at the sport's biggest non-slam events, then the tour risks diluting its own product. That Dubai's troubles this year are not just about one tournament. They're about sustainability. And unless changes are made, the problem plaguing the WTA's event in Dubai may continue to grow, not just in the desert, but across the entire tour. The question now isn't whether withdrawals will happen. It's how long the system can continue like this before something finally gives.